In this video tutorial, I'm going to apply advanced color corrections to the bride model. I have Adobe Bridge open, and I have selected the 12b_start.nef file. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to open in Camera Raw. In the Edit options, choose Adobe Portrait from the Profile menu to apply an initial color rendering optimized for human subjects in the image. In the Color panel, select the White Balance tool and then click a white area in the model's dress to remove a green color cast. If the film strip is still showing, click the Film Strip menu button to hide it. With only one file open, you don't need to use the film strip. Hiding it frees up more space for viewing the image. In the Edit options, click Auto. The auto corrections improve detail in the white dress and lace hairpiece. However, some of the changes go too far for the skin tones, so we'll edit the settings. In the Light panel, we'll double-click the slider control for exposure to reset it to 0. Double-clicking is a shortcut for resetting an option to its default value. We'll set the contrast to -21. In the Effects panel, we'll set clarity to +8. Using the Remove tool to correct blemishes. Now we'll use the Remove tool to hide blemishes and smooth the skin. In the toolbar along the right edge of the Camera Raw window, click the Remove icon. Under the histogram, Remove tools replace the Edit tools. In the Remove options, make sure the Remove tool is selected and make sure Use Generative AI is deselected. The Remove tool can delete content such as skin blemishes and seamlessly fill them in, similar to the Remove tool in Photoshop. In the Remove options, we'll set the size to 10. And I'll go ahead and zoom in here, just using Control+. Click one of the spots on the face. I'll click this spot right here. I'll click this spot right there. And the Remove tool fills in the spot you clicked using the content around it. If Show Overlay on Hover is enabled in the Remove tool, click to disable it so that you can better see the results of your corrections. I'll just click some of these other spots. Brush over fine lines around the eyes and mouth. You can also brush away freckles and minor blemishes on her face, neck, arms, and chest. Experiment with simply clicking using very short strokes and creating long brush strokes. I'm going to remove this wrinkle right here. I'll hold down my space bar to move around. And I'll just select other spots. You can also drag your mouse to remove spots. If you want to take your brush size down, use the left bracket key. Remove distracting lines and blemishes, but leave enough that the face retains its character. You can practice by removing the jewelry on the nose, but on a real job, it may be preferable to leave the jewelry visible if it's meaningful to the subject and part of their identity. This might also be true for beauty spots and birthmarks. The safe thing to do is to ask the subject before removing significant identifying marks or jewelry. Enhancing the face with masked adjustments. Use the hand tool to drag the view so that you can see the eyes. So I'm going to hold down with my space bar and I can see her eyes. Click the mask icon and then click brush. The masking panel appears listing a new mask and new brush in italic because they have not been created. They will be created as soon as you use the brush. Notice that the edit settings that were under the histogram are now under a brush heading. When a mask adjustment is selected in the mask panel, the settings shown are for that selected adjustment, not for the entire image. you'll change brush settings to set up what this brush adjustment will do. You want it to increase the saturation of whatever brush, in this case the irises of the eye. And the brush options will change the following settings. The size will be 2, I'll select tab. Feather will be 100, I'll select tab. Flow will be 50, density will be 100, and I'll select tab. And I'll make sure that the auto mask is off. Scroll down until we see the color panel, and we'll set the saturation to 70. We'll drag the brush tool over the irises in the eyes to increase their saturation. If you think the irises are oversaturated, make sure brush 1 is selected, up here, brush 1, and then reduce the saturation value until it looks reasonable. So I'll just bring this back. See what happens when I bring that back. I actually like it with all of the saturation. I want to see what happens when I do temperature. Oh, I like that a lot. So I'm moving the temperature negative. In the mask panel, we're going to double click on mask 1, and we're going to rename this eye irises and say OK. In the mask panel, select overlay auto option to enable it. It looks like I missed a little bit right here. Okay, add a little bit more in. Now I can take that off of there to see. Okay. So when you put the red overlay on, it lets you see, did you select all of the irises completely. A red overlay appears showing you where you brushed. If you see areas you did not intend to brush with the current adjustment, as long as the brush mask is selected in the Windows panel, you can extract areas from the mask by holding the Alt on a Windows or Options on a mask. If I went too far, like this, I would just hold down the Alt key, get the Subtract key, and then I would just brush that away. We'll now create another brush mask to desaturate the red corners of the eyes. In the Mask panel, click the blue Create New Mask button and choose Brush. In the Color panel, I'm going to scroll down here. We'll set the saturation to -50, and we'll brush the red corners of the eyes. We'll turn on the overlay just to see what we've done. You might want to take your brush down a little bit more. Okay, we'll turn that off. In the mask, we'll double click on mask 1, and we'll rename this as Eye Corners and select OK. We'll add another brush adjustment to brighten other areas around the eyes. In the Mask panel, we'll click the blue Create New Mask button. We'll choose Brush. We'll go to the Brush Settings, and we'll scroll down until we see the Light panel, and we'll set the exposure to 50. So 0.50 and tab. We'll brush over the white areas of the eyes, the irises, and the shadows above the eyes. So I'm going to brush over the white areas. The irises. And the shadows above the eye. Select the overlay. I'll turn off the show overlay, and if you want to move the exposure down or up, you can see what the difference is. You decide where you like that best. In the Mask panel, we'll double click on Mask 1, and we will rename this Eye Brighten and select OK. In the Mask panel, click the eye icon for the Eye Brighten mask to hide it, and then click it to show it again. So we can hide the mask, reveal the mask. I am going to add another mask. I'm going to go to Create New Mask. I'm going to select Brush. I'm going to hold down my space bar, and I'm going to select the saturation again. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, and I'm just going to go over her lips. I'm going to bring up my brush. That's too much. And I'm going to select the tint and see what happens here. Okay, you can see where I've made her lipstick look a little bit brighter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double click on Mask 1, rename this Lips, and say OK. Smoothing skin texture. Similar to how you quickly selected people in Photoshop in Lesson 3, Camera Raw also offers a masked adjustment that automatically recognizes people in skin so that it's easier to retouch skin without affecting the entire raw image. I'm going to select Control 0 to fit the bride into the view. In the mask panel, we'll click Create New Mask button and we'll choose Select People. Camera Raw searches for people in the image, which may take a few minutes. Then under Person Mask Options, a list of identified people appears. In this image, there is only one person. Mask 1 appears in the mask panel. This is the current mask. A red overlay for Mask 1 appears over the image. In the Person Mask option, if options are not active, click the circular person thumbnail to select it. Make sure that the facial skin and body skin are selected and that all the other options are deselected. And click Create. So we only want facial skin and body skin, and we'll select Create. Camera Raw automatically isolates face and body skin areas and creates mask for those areas. You didn't have to do any manual masking. It creates a new Mask 1 with separate body skin and facial skin mask for the person, named Person 1. Make sure that Mask 1 is selected. You'll need to see skin details, so I'm just going to zoom in here. In the options for Mask 1, scroll until you see the Effects panel and set the texture value to -30. You can also turn off the overlay if that would help you right now. So I'm going to set the texture to -30. I'll just tab out of that. You should see the skin texture become smoother because a negative texture value de-emphasizes detail. If you didn't notice any change, just toggle the visibility in Mask 1, before, after. While the skin mask is selected, it's a good time to also make any other skin tone or color adjustments you think are needed. For example, if there's a color cast to remove from the skin, try adjusting options in Mask 1's panels such as color and curve. So I'm going to click to edit the red channel, and I'm just going to see what happens if I bring this down a little bit. Oh, that's a little bit too much, huh? Okay, so I can now go to the before and after. I think I like that a little bit better. I'm going to double click on Mask 1, and I'm going to rename this Skin. Okay, we opened an image from Bridge into Camera Raw and performed portrait retouching without opening Photoshop. If you needed a finished copy to distribute, you would click the Save icon at the top. I'm going to turn off Resize to Fit. I'm going to leave it at the document name. It's going to go into the select folder. It's going to keep the same document name. This would be a JPEG output. I'm going to change the resolution to 300. And this is just saving a JPEG. Select Save. Now if I wanted to open this in Photoshop and preserve all of the editing that we would do, I would click Open, Open as an Object. And from here, you can perform any other edits that you would feel necessary. But if I opened up the Smart Object icon in the right of my thumbnail and double click, it takes me right back to where I was before. To open up the masking options, I would just click these. I would click on the skin, and if I felt that I went too far with the color, I could just click on the red again and select that. Like, okay. When I click the Done button, Camera Raw closes and it returns me back to Photoshop.